Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I am Jordan, and today we are going to do something that I always love doing, and that is a Wyoming whiskey product here. Now, I am not sure if this is like a Wyoming only release or not. I'm unsure of these things, but this is a 7-year Wyoming whiskey called Integrity, and it's a tribute to Senator Alan K. Simpson. Um, She's ringing in at 97 proof, 48.5% ABV. This is straight bourbon. As you know, big fan of Wyoming whiskey here on the channel. So far, we have not had a bad product other than back in 2012 when they first released. Was it 2000? Oh, I might be wrong about this. Might have been 2015. I think it was 2015. They released their very first release of their small batch whiskey. They released it too early. They only had 3 years on it instead of 5. It was really bad, really bad. And I very much was turned off by that. And then, was it a year or two later? 2 years later, a buddy of mine at Antelope Camp brought a bottle, and we tapped into that, and man, what a difference 2 years makes. It was so amazing. It was really, really good. And I've been a fan ever since then. So, with that first release out of the way that they kind of botched because they released it too early, everything after that has been outstanding. You go back on the channel, you can see that I've had all sorts of varieties of store picks. I have one of their 10th anniversary editions. Um, I have their double oak, and I did a head-to-head lineup of all of those and the standard small batch whiskey one. So if you're looking for a great bottle, typically it's somewhere between $35 and $45. Go out, get a Wyoming whiskey small batch. They're delicious. Falling right in line with that, this is a 7-year product, which, like I said, I'm not sure if this is a Wyoming release, a Wyoming only release or not. But if you can find it, I'm going to recommend it. Let's get into it. You'll find out why here. So this is Integrity. Picked this up locally here at um, the cheaper store here in Wyoming. Sorry, I got to make a little note here in my whiskey list. Picked this up for $63.49. So not terribly expensive for a 7-year-old whiskey. And yeah, I don't know. Kind of fanboying over Wyoming whiskey just because it's pretty darn good whiskey for what you're getting out of it. In the nose, I'm getting a very rich and deep caramel, honey. There's some vanilla, a little bit of oak, but a nice sweet caramel, honey, confectioner sugar up front. Now, I've said that about the last several bourbons that I've drank. Not really getting any fruit out of this at the moment. That ethanol's ringing in a little bit, but I am digging it. So here we go. Oh, okay. It's everything I say it is. On the palate, it is sweet, caramel, brown sugar, honey, vanilla, pushes into a honeyed graham cracker. Finishes with just a hint of oak tannin in there. Not overpowering, not very bitter, not very anything. It is a very well balanced whiskey, start to finish. Mostly sweet notes from start to towards the end of the finish on it, and then it finishes out with just a little bit of black pepper spice. You get a little bit of grain notes in there from in a couple different spots. Man, just a well balanced, very, very easy drinking bourbon. It smells delicious and it tastes delicious. The nose isn't changing, but it is definitely leaning more into a honey and a light caramel syrupy kind of a nose. I'd say more honeycomb than caramel, but there is hints of that. Kind of a light brown sugar almost. Yeah, sweet graham cracker, a little bit of grain dust. That caramel, the honey's in there, the vanilla's in there. Um, but yeah, that oak tannin picks up in there. There's just enough of that bitter tannic note in there to balance out the sweet without going into the flavor profiles that I don't like, which go really heavy into the tannins and that oak. Not a big fan of that. This is just the right amount to balance out that sweet and lean into that black pepper finish a little bit. It's outstanding. It's absolutely outstanding. Woodinville, if you're or not Woodinville, Wilderness Trail. If you're paying attention, try and go this direction with your cuts and your aging and stuff, because man, it's just better. For the same money, going this all day long. Go ahead. I don't mean to rip on brands or anything like that. It's just some things are better than others, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you straight and honest what I think about stuff. Nobody's paying me anything. I'm making zero money. I have no dogs in the fight. I'm just telling you what I like. If your palate matches mine, then maybe I'm helping you spend your money a little bit better. I did look the other day. I got $12,000 in whiskey. That's quite a bit of money wrapped up in it. So hopefully you don't have that much wrapped up in it, which is why we're starting to slow down a little bit in our purchases, because that's a lot of whiskey. Got a lot of bottles open, a lot of whiskey to drink, which, is not always a bad thing. So there you go. Wyoming whiskey, the integrity to honor Senator Alan Simpson. Drop in the comments down below what you can find it for in your area. Like I said, it may be a Wyoming only release. I am unsure of that, but it's 7 years old and it's absolutely delicious. So let me know what you think about it. And maybe one of these days we're going to have to do another head to head, since I've gotten several more Wyoming whiskeys since I did my last head to head, and maybe we'll take like the top 3 from the last one. We'll throw the new ones in, and we'll do another lineup and see who comes out on top. But last time it was just the standard small batch because it had everything that I like and nothing that I don't. So there you go. 63, what did I say? 63.49 here locally, which is also the same as this bottle, which will be the next one that we do. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you can buy a bottle for in your area, plus any experience you've had with Wyoming whiskey. And the one thing I will say is I have not gone out and I haven't had their single barrel. I haven't had their Outrider or several of their other releases from Wyoming whiskey yet, because I find that they tend to be way more expensive. I think that single barrel is ringing in locally at like $82 or $92, which is pretty hefty, especially when I like all their other products that are cheaper. But some of their other stuff, like their Outrider and other things, are like, man, I've seen them for like $60, $70. And I don't know if I'm willing to gamble on that one yet. But we'll see. Maybe someday I'll have a bottle of that. But let me know what your experiences with those are. Maybe if you had a good experience, maybe you'll convince me to go out and buy a bottle, and we'll give that a try. But yeah. Let's see. How am I going to come out of this video here? I think that's about all I need to know. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Let's leave it there. You guys have yourselves a great day. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video where we get into another Wyoming whiskey. Have a great day.